Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest narration of the web series, The Human from a Dungeon. If you're new to the series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description, and as always, I hope that you enjoy. Chapter 72.5 Master Vampire Kyrian Yith, Adventurer Level NA, Drow Master Vampire Belushinian.
Well, this is surprising result, the Void whispered. What is it? What's happening? I demanded. The others have conferred. A decision has been reached. And what was there? My eyes snapped open and I gasped involuntarily as pain shrieked through my body. The smell of burnt flesh stung in my nostrils. I tried to stand, but remained firmly on my back, as if my limbs would not heed my commands. You sure we can't eat? Someone asked. No bad meat. Smell it. We got to burn it, someone else said. Recognition with these speech patterns trickled at my mind, but the pain prevented cognizance. What is the meaning of this? I shouted as once again I tried and failed to move. It's living. So, it can't hurt you. Steady scales. Keep cutting. I contorted my neck to look around and saw a few kobolds standing around a roaring fire. A kobold with a short sword began to approach me, as another threw a severed leg into the fire. I glanced down and realized with horror that I didn't have any arms, and the leg that just went into the fire was probably my own. No! I screamed. A blinding pain rippled through me as the sword bit into my torso, slicing away precious flesh. Regenerate. I have to buy time to regenerate. The dryness I felt in my mouth grew more intense as I focused on trying to regrow my limbs. Please, I whimpered. Stop. I'll just go. Nope. The kobold interrupted me. You hurt the Lord. If you live, you might do it again. Oh, plus you killed my friends and family. Yeah, that wasn't a very nice thing to do, Smith. Bad sucker, the kobold with the sword said as it threw another piece of me into the flames. I'm sorry, I'll never hurt anyone again, I lied. Just please stop! The sword plunged into my flesh once more. The kobold chuckled cruelly at my screams. Think he's small enough yet? One of them asked. Please, I begged hoarsely. Yeah, another one replied. Blitz chopped the head first. Still has sharp teeth to bite with. No, I can give you things I can't. The words turned into a goggle as the blade carved its way into my throat, sawing back and forth. I desperately tried to bite at the kobold, but the muscles in my neck wouldn't bring my head around. I felt the sword crack the bones in my neck and tried to scream, but could only flap my mouth in response to pain. A hand grabbed my head and lifted me into the air, giving me a view of my mutilated body. All that was left of me was a barely recognizable chest. I'd only been able to regenerate the stumps of my shoulders. The kobold who grabbed my head began to walk towards the fire. Make sure that the meats go into the fire, the one carrying me said. Otherwise the sucker will go back. What about the leakings? Granny said they need their meats to come back. The blood's is fine where it is. But the Lord will want it cleaned. Then we'll cleanse it for the Lord. For the Lord. The reality of my situation finally sunk in as the kobolds wound up to throw me. I'm going to die. I finally found the power that I've wanted for so long. The power to make things the way they should be. And now I'm going to die. It's not right. It's not fair. I experienced a brief moment of weightlessness and panic before I impacted amongst the flames. Intense pain was all I could feel, and the only thing I could hear over the roar of the fire was the sound of my skin sizzling. All I could see were flames licking at my face before my eyes melted in my skull. I longed for the end to finally come while I silently screamed, cursing my mother and father. The vampires, the inbred bastard king, the orcs, the adventurers, and even the gods. Everyone that led me to this fate. Then the pain ebbed, and the void returned. A sickening laughter echoed within my mind. Confusion and anger whirled within me. What? Am I dead? I asked. Is this the afterlife? No. What you have just experienced is the fate that you've been spared by the mercy of those higher than you. The wicked god answered, though that mercy wears thin. There were many who craved your demise, and you were only spared by 1 vote.
1 vote?
Indeed. Out of the dozens of votes that were cast, 1 singular vote defined the majority, then spared your middling existence.
Middling? I demanded as my anger fled.
Quite. You acted haughtily under the mistaken impression that by becoming a master vampire, you had also become supremely powerful. You were warned that the challenge was coming, and failed to take any responsible precautions, thereby failing the challenge entirely. You didn't even manage to actually kill any of your opponents.
I
have been an immeasurable disappointment. Thus far you've been nothing more than a failure. And those are extraordinarily common. There isn't anything spectacular about a failure. We expect far better from one who dares to hold ambitions to conquer the world.
The words tore into me, exposing the inadequacies and insecurities that I'd buried deep within. There was nothing that I could think of in reply, no argument I could make. Even now, as I mentally revisited the fight, I can see the mistakes I made, stupid and foolish mistakes that I should have been smart enough to avoid.
Yes, you should have sent your minions into a choke point, limiting their superior maneuverability, and simultaneously leaving you undefended. You should have been less cautious in expanding your forces. You should have this, you should have that,
it said impatiently.
But you didn't. We expected strategy, not stupidity. We expected brutality, not cowardice. Your fear of failure ensured it.
I found myself unable to be angry at these words, even as they bit into me. Though the tone was condescending, it was well-deserved chiding. I should have been smarter, should have taken this more seriously. The hells with gods and their challenges. This was my life that I threw away with my stupid mistakes.
What now? My ego completely deflated. In accordance with the compact of the highest one, you will be spared, and I will speed up your regeneration. From there, do as you will. Perhaps your homeland will be more accommodating to a failure such as yourself.
The god laughed cruelly.
Perhaps you'll even learn the secrets that the other vampires have kept from you. And we'll get to see how those secrets shape you. Or perhaps you'll stumble yet again and die. A pathetic death. We will be silent to you from now on, and we will not intercede in your behalf again. Be gone.
My eyes snapped open, and I gasped involuntarily as the shock of what had happened ran through my mind. I scrambled to a sitting position, breathing heavily and checking to make certain that I was intact. Tears ran down my face as I gripped my arms and legs, the memories of my demise still fresh. The cold of the dungeon floor barely registered upon my nude form, but the sound of padded feet and chattering coming from the entrance hall sent a chill down my spine. Kobolds. Conflicting thoughts surged to the front of my consciousness. Fight or flight. I've killed several dozen kobolds thus far, and that was before I became a master. It would be a simple matter to kill more of them, and it would make me feel better about the trauma I'd just endured. They wouldn't stand a chance. But if I kill the kobolds, it'll broadcast my survival if the adventurers return to this dungeon. There had been a kobold that had accompanied the adventurers. If the same kobold is with this group, and I kill it, they may hunt me down. The murder of a companion, pet or otherwise, is the perfect motivation for revenge. I decided that leaving would be the wisest choice and scrambled to my feet. After a moment of stumbling, I fled deeper into the dungeon. I grabbed a robe and a cloak, threw them on, and jogged through the rear exit of the dungeon and into the dilapidated manor. The sun shone upon my face through a hole in the roof, and I gratefully breathed into this outside air. Mindful of my appearance, I concentrated until I felt my face shift into the visage of Habus. The homeless elf would serve me one last time as my mask. Carefully noting that the adventurers may have committed this face to memory, I decided to find a new one as soon as possible. With this ability, though, I will have no trouble gathering intelligence on what is happening within the Night Kingdom, assuming anyone knows that is. With one more deep breath, I raised the hood of my cloak and left the manor behind me. End of chapter. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, Jon Creighton, W.R.E, 050, Dragzoon W.R.E, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.